So, welcome to Polly's podcast. I'm very, very thankful that I'm finally starting to see a few subscribers, which is just wonderful. So, thank you so much for subscribing. If you find this helpful, please give a thumbs up. And if you think this type of topic is going to be helpful to somebody you care about, please share with them. In the meantime, I want to share with you some of the side effects of having a carnivore lifestyle for over 203 days. So this will air in a few days, so it'll be far more than 203 days. But look, one of the side effects of eating paleolithically or carnivorously or whatever it is you want to call it, which is basically just pork, beef, lamb, goat, chicken, eggs, bacon, butter, raw dairy from goats, and A2 dairy, is that for me, some issues have disappeared, and I wanted to address that. So I did notice that I was having sensitive gums or sensitive teeth, right? And I noticed that has gone away completely. It started to go away after month 4, but I noticed that it completely went away by month 7. So that is huge. And the only thing that I changed was the fact that I eliminated vegetables and the majority of all fruits from my diet. So for a long time, I was very low consumer of consuming very low grain. So I was never been a big fan of like corn, soy, wheat, rice, right? Barley, oats, none of that stuff. So, but I still did not have a good enough lifestyle. In other words, I was not at my most optimum or at my most healthy. But since I have been eating what I grow, which is poultry, I raise poultry, I grow poultry and eggs and beef and pork and lamb and goat, and I have full access to raw goat's milk, right? So butter, bacon, these things are what I have been eating the majority of. And my first 90 days that's all I ate. And then after my 90 days were up, I started to incorporate some fish from the store or from my friend Nancy, who actually grows tilapia fish in her aquaponics system. And her tilapia are simply delicious and buttery and flaky, and I love them. So I'm a big fan of her tilapia. And so I don't buy tilapia from anyone else except for Nancy, because I know how they're raised. I know how they're grown, how they're butchered, and her husband does a great job, and they're so humane. Just a big fan. So I wanted to bring that up. So after the 90 days, when I started incorporating like canned tuna or canned sardines or frozen fish or fresh fish, and it didn't bother me. So I was able to keep that incorporated into my lifestyle, into my daily diet. I eat lobster, scallops, crab, shrimp, no issues for me. But what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa, okay? Thank goodness that I can eat that. So I have a wide array of carnivorous foods that I can enjoy. And I do use seasonings. But that tooth pain was not something new. It had been there for years. That sensitivity in my gums had been there for years. And sometimes it would get so bad that I would actually have to take ibuprofen before I go to bed. And that's just, ibuprofen is never the answer. That's like an emergency situation, because ibuprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, and it does not need to be in my body, okay? Wow. But after 4, 5, 6 months, that sensitivity in my teeth did go away, or in my gum line, it did go away. And I'm very grateful for that. And I wanted to bring that up to you because I think that if it helped me, it might help somebody else. I'm not sure. Because like I said before, this is not a research study. This is not, a medical study. This is one random person on the internet talking about her own personal experience. And that's all I've got. So I'm continuing. I'm still a work in progress. And, this has just been a wonderful journey for me. I'm glad I finally buckled down and took the advice of some other people, and I'm documenting it here on my channel because, the only channel I had before was the farm and ranch channel where, I grow, what I do on the farm and ranch. So this is specific. This channel, Polly's Podcast, is specific to my weight loss journey and my healing journey because I was not at all healthy when I was carrying around all that extra body fat around my organs. And it was just a horrible experience. I didn't want to even go out in public. I didn't want to go do things. I didn't feel good about going out and participating in events. I did not feel good about participating in, group dinners and, it just didn't feel good to be overweight. Even after I lost like my first 10 pounds, I was really faced with my own reality because, look, I had dropped my first 10 pounds pretty quickly, and I was a little disheartened because I said to myself, how overweight are you that you have just lost 10 pounds and you're still obese? That's embarrassing. That shouldn't be, right? Even after I lost 20 pounds, I was still obese. And it wasn't until I lost over 35 pounds that I was just overweight. And just recently am I not obese or overweight, but at that border where I'm, at that BMI line, right? So, and I realized that I don't measure only by BMI by any means, because that by itself doesn't mean anything. There are lots of other things that I do, like waist to height ratio. There's a lot of things that I do to measure my progress and whether or not I'm losing bone density or muscle mass or fat, visceral fat. There's a few things that I do, and so I do track my progress because I want to make sure that I'm building bone density, I'm building muscle mass and strength, and losing the visceral fat, and I'm keeping that beautiful subcutaneous fat, right? So I do track that, and I've discovered that for me, eating vegetables does not work. There are a few vegetables that I will incorporate from time to time, and I introduced them back into my diet after the 90 days, my true 90 days were up. And I did that very slowly, and to this day, I'm cautious. And those are some cruciferous vegetables such as cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage. I also do utilize some fungus, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I use shiitake mushrooms, the big white button mushrooms, the brown mushrooms. I am a mushroom fan, and they don't affect me badly. So I do incorporate those. And of course, things like garlic and onion for seasoning. I try to use fresh whenever possible because I just prefer that flavor of fresh. I do purchase the garlic in a container that's already been crushed. And that's not only very convenient, but you get so much garlic. And I love garlic. Like tonight, if I have some seafood, I make a mushroom with a garlic cream sauce. So, I just enjoy it. Okay, so I wanted to share with you how quickly that sensitivity in my gums or my teeth, whatever you want to call it, went away just when I eliminated 98% of all the fruits in my diet. I eliminated 99.9% of all the vegetables in my diet, and of course 100% of the grains. Because before that, the only time I would have any kind of grain product was really when I ate battered fried food. And I loved my battered fried food. So if you look at my other podcasts before this one, I have one that's about fried food, and boy, was I addicted. I don't know that there's another word to explain it, because I was just addicted. And same with I can't buy ice cream and have it in the house because I don't have the ability right now to not eat a lot of ice cream. So if I want ice cream, I literally go out and I go to the ice cream place and I order 1 scoop of ice cream without the cone in the cup with a spoon, so that I know I'm going to eat that and I'm done with it and I don't have it at home, right? Because I am a work in progress. And if you can understand what I'm talking about, if this registers with you in any way, please let me know in the comments below, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're the only one in the world that's going through something. And I don't want to be that person, but I am. I am that person. I am going through that. And it is tough for me to not eat sweets, some sweets. So anyway, that's it for today. Wanted to share with you that this eating a high protein and moderate fat, very, very low carbohydrate diet did somehow magically, over a course of time, not overnight, helped with my tooth and gum sensitivity. And I hope that this helps you or somebody that you know with their journey if they're going through something like this. So until next time, be happy and be healthy. Bye for now.